For the first 10 years of my career, I was a storm chaser. I would chase tornadoes and hurricanes across the country. But there came a point where there weren't any tornadoes and there weren't any hurricanes around for a while. And so I was forced to chase a light drizzle across a county for 7 days in a row just to pay the bills. And it was around that time that I sort of became fascinated by them and the way that they just replenish rivers and how those rivers lead into lakes. And so for a while I started chasing rivers and lakes, but it wasn't enough for me. So that eventually led me to make the choice to chase waterfalls. And for the last 2 years I've been chasing waterfalls. Yes, the majority of people in my life say don't go chasing waterfalls. They're constantly telling me how dangerous it is, especially my now ex-wife. It caused a huge rift between us. She was adamant that you shouldn't go chasing waterfalls. She wanted me to stick to the rivers and the lakes I was used to, but I was going to have it my way or nothing at all, and she felt that was moving too fast. So she made the decision that she had to leave me because of that. Also, I would beat the shit out of her quite regularly. There are a lot of dangers associated with chasing waterfalls, which is why you're regularly told not to chase waterfalls. Probably number one is that you can get wet, and if you've ever stood just outside of a shower, you'll kind of know the feeling of there's water pouring down next to you and you're just feeling the splash off, and it can be uncomfortable occasionally, a little bit cold, and that's just not pleasant. Global warming doesn't make it easy as well. You've got to really jump on them because global warming can dry those suckers up. Like I was going through Nevada. I was in search of an old waterfall there, and that thing apparently had been dried up for most of human existence, which I didn't know prior to going there. The Grand Canyon or something, I think, is what it's called. A bunch of tourists were taking pictures. So we didn't feel the need to do that one. There was another time I got there. It just turns out it was a small hill. Someone had left a hose running. We figured that was a half chase. I mean, technically there was water falling. So at the end of the day, as long as you document it, as long as you've chased it, it's a job well done. The next waterfall that I'm going to chase is a lesser known one that I think by chasing I can bring it to the attention of the public. I believe that's a huge, there's a missed tourist opportunity there. It's a little place in between Ontario, Canada and New York in America. It's called Niagara Falls. And not many people know about it because it being on the border like that, it's just difficult to travel to. So I want to just let the world know that there is this falls, and it can be chased. It's the biggest waterfall I've chased so far, so it's going to need a lot more preparation time. I'm giving myself a month preparation time for this one, and the way that I'll train is I'll spend at least 10 minutes a day in the morning just standing under the shower. Just letting the water fall onto me, sort of taking on the spirit of a waterfall, and then you've got to sort of build yourself up to it. So I'll be spending the first week I've got a small fountain in the backyard. I'll just stand next to it, sort of get used to the flow and the occasional splashing onto me, and then I'll spend a few minutes just with my hand underneath it, getting used to sort of what would happen if I got too close to the waterfall and water fell on me, which is known to happen. Then I'll build up the next week to a medium fountain, and then a large fountain after that. And I may visit a public area to visit an extra large fountain just in the week before leading up to that. And then you tend to be ready, and it's always dangerous. But I suppose that's the risk we take when we chase waterfalls.